Poop protest in Paris is happening tomorrow, and this is what the Seine looks like today. The government has spent over €1 billion trying to clean the Seine before the Paris Summer Olympics that start in 1 month, and it's not working. So Parisians have set up a website telling everyone to go poop in the Seine tomorrow on June 23rd, which is when President Emmanuel Macron and Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo both said they'd go swim to prove it's clean. The website even has a calculator so that people who live far from Paris can know when they need to poop in the river for it to flow down to Paris at noon tomorrow. But even today, without the poop, the Seine looks awful. It's even more green in person, and I saw people dumping garbage into it. Apparently, they've done multiple tests, and the level of bacteria in the Seine is 3 times higher than other open water swimming events allow. However, the Olympic Committee says there's no reason to doubt the swimming events for the Olympics won't take place in the Seine this summer, and they're confident the swimmers will be able to use it. So, I don't know. Did you swim in it?
Wow. What a moral conundrum that I'm absolutely conflicted on myself. But it's fair to say, pooping in the river, bad for civilization. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Rudowski here of youtube.com/wearechange, and there's a lot of just surprising news that's a major frickin' white pill. And that, of course, is the release of Julian Assange. Why did this happen? What's really going on here? What's some of the larger implications and troubles that Julian has to worry about? Well, we'll be talking about that, plus all the latest news developing right now in our society that is decaying and falling down in many different devious ways where, of course, information is kept away from the general public. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media organization. If you like the shirt that I got on right now, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. You could see Atlas's eyes, of course, open up as every new subscriber means a new treat for Atlas, who is my official co-host here, as she takes craps anywhere she wants. No, she's actually very disciplined. She has like a specific section. Unlike the French people that are literally taking Mongo deuces into their rivers to protest the government. As some people are responding to this by saying, I love activism. Other people are saying, hey, stop taking a crap in the river. That's what is leading to significant human harm. As the response by some is very interesting, as of course we have this report from this young woman that is going viral on Twitter. I don't know who she is. If you know who this lady is, please let us know so we could attribute her correctly, and you could go follow more of her on-the-ground reporting from Paris, France. That always has a very interesting way of protesting. This one of the most uniquest. As of course in America, we are choosing to enjoy our waterways by celebrating obesity and diabetes, as New York City is holding their first ever Fat Beach Day in order to, quote, create an accepting environment for the plus size community, as the cellulite will be on full display. As of course, the more people who accept their lifestyle causes more health problems, which incentivizes more profits for the health industry that is becoming more and more predatory by the day. Another thing that's absolutely predatory is the U.S. Federal Reserve banking system that has indebted this country $34 trillion, $34.8, soon to be $35 trillion, which of course is unpayable, unsustainable, as the interest on this debt is more than our defense spending. But according to Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary and former head of this quasi-Federal Reserve banking system, there's no sticker shock at all, no problems for her at all.
Secretary Yellen, have you been to the grocery store lately?
I sure have. I go every week.
It's sticker shock, isn't it?
No.
I just, when you look at shipping costs, those have come down. Global food commodity prices have also come down.
Yeah, you didn't see this because the camera didn't pan to her, and they didn't highlight this clip. But she literally said, no. Yeah, she's no, not for the queen bee bureaucrats. You peasant slave, get back to your worshiping of authority, which is exactly what CNN is doing, as they are holding on to their piece of trash commentary network and footage for these upcoming presidential debates, as they have released a statement saying specifically that independent media organizations are not allowed and, quote, haven't been granted permission to play clips or watch or restream the presidential debates that are going to be happening this Thursday on their own particular channel. This, as of course, they gave all other terrestrial news organizations the ability to, of course, do this. Independent media, nope. As of course, that is the larger thing that threatens their existence that they absolutely despise and hate. And that's why we are going to be doing a very special stream. We're going to start it off on this channel, by the way. During the presidential debates, 1 hour beforehand, we're going to be watching it through its entirety, and we're going to be, of course, having commentary afterwards with some very special guests in studio, as we're going to have an anti-CNN watch party, which is going to be pretty interesting, but I'm pretty sure we have conceived of a strategy that is going to make it worthwhile and something that, of course, you will be able to watch throughout its entirety. As, of course, the insanity that you see on this network is something that a lot of people are sick of, as Thursday is going to be a major news day, as Donald Trump will be announcing his running mate, which a lot of people believe is potentially going to be Vivek Ramaswamy, after Donald Trump had a very interesting trip to Iowa recently, where a lot of people are speculating this is where he met with Vivek and asked Vivek to be his running mate, which personally I think is an awesome, incredible idea. The Hodge twins are saying that he is the best insurance pick for Donald Trump, and that, of course, he would be a lot better than Mike Pence, who we're going to be talking about in just a little bit, who really isn't happy about Julian Assange being released from prison. This, as Vivek actually called for Julian Assange's release. He called for a lot of people's release, and the speculation is building, and a lot of people are positively responding to this, which I think is absolutely incredible news. This, as the West faces some very significant problems and issues, as our neighbors from the North are now arresting political commentators with undercover police officers at their shows, as we just got video footage of Tommy Robinson being arrested in Canada on a, quote, immigration offense, which is laughable, since, of course, Canada usually has an open border policy that allows anyone to come into its country. Tommy Robinson, not so much, as Mike Benz took to social media and described how Western democracy is getting arrested by 8 undercover officers in the audience as you give a speech criticizing immigration policy.
What warrant for? You got an outstanding immigration warrant. We'll talk about it in the vehicle. Okay?
One outstanding warrant?
Yep, outstanding immigration warrant. We'll talk about it in the vehicle. Okay?
How do you like, eh? You've got 190.
All right, come on.
What about myself? What about myself? My passport.
Yourself.
Absolutely insane. Get me a lawyer.
Yep, and that's the way that Western civilization will fall, and it's falling. But hey, before it totally collapses, sign up to lookunfiltered.com while your U.S. petrodollar still has some value, as, of course, your support of this independent media organization is more crucial than ever and really does mean a lot to us. We give you guys a lot. We give you guys nature hikes. We give you guys in real life meetups. We do contest ticket giveaways. We're going to be giving out free tickets to the Bitcoin conference coming up soon in Nashville, Tennessee. We have 3 master classes, a forum, a members-only t-shirt store, seed oil cards, you name it, all available on LukeUnfiltered.com. While you're there, check out wearechange.shop. We got a lot of incredible supplements that are also available to you as well. Last night, I took some magnesium glycinate during my last meal of the day, and my sleep and my recovery is absolutely awesome. I also took some fish oil yesterday as well. And these are our products that we put our name behind, that are tested heavily. We love them. We use them. Make sure before taking anything into your body that it is right for you. We got some great information in the top right-hand corner about this particular product as soon as you, of course, go to wearechange.shop. Pick up some products. Support this independent media organization and learn to, of course, take care of yourself on an independent health journey. As life is short, life is fleeting, and you never know when you're going to be taken down by the intelligentsia and deep state and put in prison and solitary confinement for a number of years, just like Julian Assange was, who finally, as of the making of this video, is officially free. As just a couple hours ago, Julian Assange's plane left Bangkok and is on his way to a U.S. court, which signals his larger release from detention. Detention and, of course, confinement that he has faced for a very long time, as he was detained in the United Kingdom for nearly 14 years. As the Daily Mail writes that Julian Assange will rest, recuperate, and stay at a remote family home and live a, quote, ordinary life without any restrictions when he arrives in his homeland of Australia. This, according to Julian Assange's brother, that we just had on the show a few days ago, by the way, who's an incredible human being and very happy about the news, as of course I am as well. This has been a very important hallmark case for freedom of speech here domestically inside of the United States, but also the world, as of course Julian Assange wasn't an American citizen. He wasn't in America, as he is currently en route towards a court hearing at a U.S.-controlled island, as we're seeing everything kind of play out right before us, as WikiLeaks just released this photo of him looking pretty happy off into the distance in an airplane, as he has officially agreed to a plea deal, somehow finding him guilty of violating the Espionage Act, even though what he did is what news organizations routinely do all the time. The thing is, they usually do it in a coordinated way with the U.S. federal government that likes to release information on their political enemies, and they only release the approved secret information, as of course Julian Assange blew the whistle on a lot of corruption within the U.S. federal government and its intel agencies that pissed them off. And therefore, he was charged and now pled guilty to violating an Espionage Act that has been routinely abused by the Obama administration, as he has pled guilty to possessing or accessing material related to, quote, national defense of the United States, as RFK Jr. took to social media and saying that he's a generational hero. But the bad news out of this is that his guilty plea to, quote, conspire to obtain and disclose national defense info means the U.S. Secretary of State succeeded in essentially criminalizing journalism and extending their jurisdiction globally to non-citizens. RFK Jr. also said, quote, Julian had to take this. He has his heart problems. He would have died in prison, but the security state has imposed a horrifying precedent and dealt a big blow to freedom of the press, which I agree with, as there are some individuals that are not happy about this news. One of them is, of course, the former Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence, that criticized the Biden administration's plea deal here. And again, it was a guilty verdict. He's still not happy with that. And even though Assange has been detained for 14 plus years, he still describes this as somehow a miscarriage of justice, as a lot of people are responding to this by telling Mr. Mike Pence to F off. As of course, people are like, are you kidding me? As a lot of people are happy that he no longer has a political career, and everyone is using this situation in order to dunk on him. As it's important to note here that he was one of many politicians that detested real journalism, that hated individuals that released government secret classified documents that they tried to make sure no one would ever see, as Hillary Clinton even talked about potentially drone bombing Julian Assange. Other members of government also plotted and talked about taking his life. As politically, I have to say, this is a major loss for Donald Trump, who in a lot of people's eyes, including my own, should have pardoned him 5 years ago, should have offered him a deal, as of course under the Trump administration, Julian Assange was arrested. Now there's a lot of different conspiracies about this. I have a members only video that I'm releasing later on today talking about some of the larger conspiracies of what is really going on here, about the potential for the bigger kind of political conspiracy that is unfolding here. As of course, Julian Assange released a lot of very serious secrets of the establishment that they did not want to get out there. Whether it's spirit cooking, whether it's disclosing how the United States was backing and fully supporting radical Islamists inside of Syria and the world, whether it was them rigging primaries against Bernie Sanders. There's a lot of greater implications here that, of course, are at play here. But regardless of this, Julian Assange is supposed to return home very quickly if there's no other foul play at hand here, as everyone is paying attention to when he will be finally reunited with a lot of his loved ones and family members, as now also there's a new $500,000 charge for the flight that he has now received to the remote islands, which was a part of his larger kind of plea deal, as of course he is doing everything he can to avoid setting foot on the U.S. mainland. He was denied the ability to fly commercial. As soon he is setting foot in Saipan, which will end the 14-year legal battles that he was involved in. Now, WikiLeaks and Julian Assange are trying to raise money in order to pay for the, quote, $500,000, as other U.S. politicians have taken this situation to call on for the release of Edward Snowden and Ross Ulbricht. As U.S. Congressman Thomas Macy took to social media and said, "My plane just landed and I heard Julian Assange will soon be free due to a deal. His liberation is great news, but it's a travesty that he's already spent so much time in jail. Obama, Trump, and Biden should have never pursued his prosecution. Pardon Snowden and free Ross now." Absolutely. And if you agree with that message, share this video with your friends and family members, as of course, we shouldn't have political prisoners in this country. It's pretty clear. Journalism is journalism, and it should be respected along with our human rights. It's that simple. This is a major white pill moment. This is a major celebration. This has been a major issue for us for a long time, and it's incredible to see. And finally, we got some good freaking news. And if you agree, what other white pills are you looking for? Let me know down in the comment section down below. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively supporting this independent media organization, and that is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange. By the way, we return to our podcast show this Wednesday with Rashad Evans. Thursday, special show, presidential debates, and then Friday with Matt McKibben. Stay tuned for that and a lot more, all here. Subscribe, click the notification button.